Alright gang, I'm going to make a video of all my Marx Noble Knights. I think I have 6 complete knights with horses. I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I do not have any of the feathers stuck in the helmets. I have feathers enough to cover all, but I think one knight, or quills, we'll call them, whatever you want to call them. I just did not put them in because they're going to get dusty and I didn't want the feathers to get loaded up with dust and ruin. So here we go. I'm showing you my 2 black knights with horses. The black knight on the right that's sitting on a horse was in a previous video. That was the horse I bought at a Christian thrift store and had to glue them back together. And the other horse I picked up, Lord, I don't remember where I picked it up at. I just grabbed him and 2 other ones at the same time. I think I paid like $20 for all 3 of them, and it came with a pony, so actually I got 4 horses. As you see, I'm going to zoom in on him. This knight here has black armor, gold knife sheath and belt, black gold shield, and a gold sword. He is actually a golden knight. I grabbed him, I think it was a yard sale maybe, and his armor was really bad. Didn't have much chance of using any of it, so I ended up finding just the armor, the black armor, on eBay. So I grabbed it and I just said, well, shoot, I'm not going to hunt down another set of black weapons. I'll just use the gold weapons. So he's a peasant knight, not knife. But that's the 2 black Marx Noble Knights I have. And of course, I know that they didn't have the mixed color horse as a Noble Knight's horse, but he is, I think he came with the Indian maybe. I could be wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, but he is now an armored horse. Alright, now you see my 2 gold knights. Now I mentioned in the very first video pertaining to the Noble Knights that I had the silver knight, my brother had the gold knight. Well, I have these 2 now. They're full, complete, all weapons. The weapons that aren't on display with all the knights are packed up in the box. I just really think these were some cool toys back in the 70s, and I wish I knew they had re-released them. I'd have bought them all brand new. Back, I guess, in the late 90s, early 2000s when they re-released them. With that being said, I can't tell you which knights are original from the 60s and 70s and which ones are reissue. I know the reissue was from Mexico, and I think the original's from the United States. So if I ever pull armor off the knights, I'll look for that, see which ones are reissue and which ones are original, because I'm sure I've got both. And here are the last 2 I'm going to show you guys: the silver knight and the blue knight. Now, as a kid, I had the silver knight. I think I may just already mention that previously, and I do recall mentioning it in the very first Marx Noble Knights video. I loved that toy. The blue knight I didn't know existed. I don't know if, and that goes for the black knight. I think the black knight was out too in the 60s and 70s, but I'm not sure of the blue knight. So I grabbed the blue knight, and that's an eBay or people. I bought these things here and there, some off of eBay, some out of yard sales. I can't remember which ones are what. I can tell you that the silver armored horse, that's one of the 2 that I got at a flea market for $10 for both of them. It's missing a stirrup. I don't want to have to buy a whole other set of armor just to replace stirrups, but it's missing both stirrups, I think, on that one. And one of the gold knights is missing 1 stirrup. The brown armor is armor I bought from Mexico. I did a previous video of that guy's armor, showing you a close-up of some black armor. When I was looking for the replacement armor to give the blue knight a horse, I was hoping that there'll be some blue armor, but there was not available any blue armor. So the thought was maybe get some more silver armor, scuff it up, and paint it blue, but I went against that, and then when I saw that brown armor, I said, that's pretty cool looking. So I grabbed the brown armor. And you see the Silver Knight doesn't have a sword like all the other ones. I put his, what do they call that? I want to call it pike, but I can't remember if that's what it's called or not. Anyway, I put that in his right arm. And ironically, both these knights have their shields in their left hand. I think all the other ones have the shields in their right hand. I could be mistaken. I know I've just mixed it up a little bit. And to be honest with you, you know, my son's friend came over and he was fascinated with them. And one of the Black Knights' knife is missing, and the armor on the brown armor that is brand new, one of the tabs is broke on the side that mounts to the saddle. A little irritated with that because, you know, people messing with my stuff, and that just ticked me off. But there's a close-up of the brown armor. And it's some good looking armor. So gang, that's my 6 Noble Knights. Alright gang, that's all 6 of the Noble Knights I have. There is one thing I couldn't figure out at first, but the Black Knight, the second one from the right, he was always leaning out to the left side of the horse, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, when I put them all on the shelf, I realized that the leg on the horse is not, it's either a hair shorter or not spaced out like it's supposed to be. So when I set the horse down, the night shift's over. But it's cool either way. So this, I'm stopping my Noble Knights collection right here, right now. I do not need any more. I did not need this many. It's like everything I get involved with, I get carried away, and well, carried away again. I have no idea where I'm gonna put all these knights. Really don't have any room for them. They're just sitting on a shelf in a spare room, which is also full of junk. But these are some cool Marx toys. So gang, oh, one more thing, the 3 horses on your right, that's all the brand new armor. The silver horse, silver armored horse, and the gold armored horse beside him, those 2 are the 2 I got at the flea market. And the one on the left, that horse armor is original old armor. It's got some issues, but you can see the difference in the color between the 2 Gold Knights horses. And unfortunately, like I said previously, I think I said it, some of the armor is original, some of it's been replaced. The blue and the Black Knights, those are all new armor. And the Black Knight on the far right, he's actually a Gold Knight wearing black armor. So his armor was just completely shot. I mean, all the tabs was broke off of him, or either the little slots that the tabs slide into were split open. While I was putting these back together, I also noticed that Marx had Vikings. I'm not even going to look into that. That's something else I don't need to get started on. But gang, thanks for viewing. I really appreciate you watching, and have a great day.